guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Soumya, aka Pretty Paperback, and by the title of this video, you already know what this video is going to be about. So, I gifted myself 25 books for turning 25 years old. How cool is that? Spoiler alert, few books were gifted to me by my friends, and few books were gifted to me, or rather, most of the books were gifted to me by my father. He doesn't know this yet, so let's just keep that between us for a while now until he sees this video, obviously. So, without any further ado, let's get into the video. The first book is Ant. If you watched my previous vlog, you know which book I am talking about. I gifted this book for two reasons. I love the author. The second reason is that this was on sale. This book cost you roughly around 500 to 600 rupees, but during the discount season on Amazon, this book costed you just 200 bucks after delivery, and it was a steal deal. Plus, I have to complete my 25 book series, so I bought this one. And this book is none other than The Au Pair Affair by Tessa Bailey. I love her books, I love her work, and she is my comfort author as well. So I am really excited to read this book. So the next book is by one of my favorite author. If you have been following me for a while, you know that Taylor Jenkins Reid is my go-to author. I love her book. I have read each and every book written by her except Malibu Rising, which is because of the reason that what if one day Taylor Jenkins Reid wake up and she decides to retire from writing? I should have at least one book still left in my TBR to be read, which is written by her. I know this doesn't make any sense, and this might sound little silly to most of you, to be very honest, I know, but in my head, I don't want to wake up in the world where Taylor Jenkins Reid don't write anymore and there is no book left to read written by her. So I have read each and every book written by her. Even her novellas are very good. So this is the book that I got for myself. I have already read this book. I read this book as an e-copy, and I really wanted a physical copy of this book, and I went to Daryaganj. If you haven't watched that vlog yet, you should, because that place is just heaven for reader like us. So I got myself this book, and it is Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. By the way, this is an original second-hand copy, and what I truly love is that I have no issues with pre-loved copy, and if you are someone like me who love pre-loved copy with brown stains and edges, so that place is definitely an heaven for you. This is an original copy that I bought at a very steal deal. Also, this is written by Taylor Jenkins Reid, guys, and I really wanted her book so bad. So I bought this book from a bookstore and I already finished reading it. I'm not kidding, I finished reading this book in a day or two. I was so invested in this book, and this book was my first book of 2025. I have annotated this book, and if you follow me on Instagram, you must have already read the review by now. You would have known how much I love this book, and this is none other than Manifest by Roxy Nuff O.C. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, but this is a hardcover and I already finished reading it. I saw this book everywhere on my Instagram feed. I saw people raving about this book. And if you know me, you know that I am someone who is a firm believer of manifestation. So I love this book. And this is not a wrap up video, but if you're looking for a book and want to start your manifestation journey, this book could be the one. I also annotated this book and I really love it. So, the next book is something that I bought from one of the iconic bookstores of Delhi, one of the oldest bookstores of Delhi as well, Fakir Chand and Sons. Again, if you have watched my previous vlog, you should have seen that how much I love the bookstore, how much I love the vintagey vibes that bookstore offer. And obviously, I bought a book from a bookstore. Like, how couldn't I? So, and it is Blue Sisters by Coco Millers. First of all, can we just take a moment and adore the cover of this book itself? Like, I have read the synopsis of this book. I have read the previous book by the author, which is Cleopatra and Frankenstein. But even if you have never heard about this author and have never read her previous book, just take in a moment to adore the cover of this book. So this is the book that I bought from that bookstore, and this is the bookmark that they give you along. You cannot get this bookmark if you haven't purchased a book from the shop. So I bought this book for this bookmark. I won't lie, I really wanted this bookmark in my collection. How pretty this is, and also I got myself a little treat because why not? And I am excited to dive into this book. So I bought this book from Daryaganj as well. This is again a pre-loved copy, and I heard about this book through Goodreads. This book was, I don't remember exactly what, but was either nominated for the best memoir or won the title. I have to Google that. But I do remember reading the synopsis of this book after it was nominated for Goodreads Choice Award. And I added that book into my want to read list. And here I am actually purchasing the physical copy and hopefully reading it very soon. So, this is Over the Top, My Story by Jonathan Van Ness. I am very sorry if I'm butchering the name, but I read the synopsis of this book few years back, to be very honest, and I was like, this is something I would love to read. So, again, this is a pre-loved copy that I bought from a great amount of steal deal. I am definitely reading it very, very soon. So I bought this book on the recommendation of one of the Bookstagram friend. I saw her raving about this book, and honestly, the type of books she read is very different from the type of books that I read. But I feel like I'm 25 now. I need to read more grown up and serious kind of books. So I have bought a lot of books which a genre I haven't explored yet out of fear or out of stepping out of my comfort zone. But this year, on my birthday, I have decided that I will level up. I am going to read genres that I haven't explored yet, which is fiction, historical fiction, memoirs. I have read quite handful of memoirs, but I'm not very inclined towards that particular genre, but I will read few more memoirs and I'm going to read some serious books. So I bought this book on the recommendation of one of the Bookstagram friend. I saw this book on her feed and she was raving about it, so I was like, let's give it a go. I might like it. Which is The Far Field by Madhuri Vijay. This book is also the JCB Prize, won the JCB Prize for Literature in 2019. And again, guys, this is a pre loved copy. I love pre loved copies, and I am very happy and excited to read this one. And the cover itself is just so beautiful. So, Bookstagram plays a major role in deciding what type of books I'm gonna read. I am not lying. I simply go and follow Bookstagrammers. We have same taste, and if they recommend a particular book, I eat it all up. I don't go to a particular website or I don't even go to Amazon and read the reviews to which one I want to buy. I simply follow the Bookstagrammers and I trust their recommendation blindly. I have been following most of the Bookstagrammers and we somehow match. We have the same vibe, we have the same energy, we have the same taste. And if they recommend it, I am gonna read it. So this book is again recommended to me by one of the Bookstagram friend, and I trust her recommendations blindly. We have same taste, more or less same taste, and I think I'm going to like it because I really like the synopsis as well. So this book is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, and I am definitely going to read this book very, very soon. So the next book was recommended to me by a celebrity. So this book was recommended by none other than Harry Styles. I mean, he did not recommend it to me personally, but he read this book and he loved it. So I was like, if Harry loves it, I am also loving it and I am eating this book all up. So this book is Apples Never Fall by Leon Moriarty. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, but I got a hardcover. I mean, look, guys. I am lucky, I know that. I'm definitely reading this book because this was recommended by Harry Styles. If you are active on Bookstagram and Booktube community, you must have heard about this series like gazillion of times already. So I will not read the synopsis or share anything with you. I'm simply going to show you the books. And this is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. And I got a hardcover, guys. That too at a very steal deal. Let me come near you. Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I have heard a lot of things about this particular series and I am very excited to read it. And I got a hardcover for a very steal deal. So the next book is also the part of that very same series and it is none other than The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman. The Man Who Died Twice. The Bullet That Missed by Richard Osman from the very same series. So, looking at the condition of this book, you can say why I got the whole series at a very steal deal price. The outer cover was sort of missing, and the seller was ready to sell it for a cheaper price. So, I was like, why not? I really want to read this series, and when I can get a hardcover for the whole series at a very paperback price, so why not? Like I said earlier, that I want to explore new genres and I want to read new books and new authors. So I bought this book. This book is The First Woman by Jennifer Nansubaga Makumbi. I'm very sorry if I'm butchering the name. This book is the winner of Chalak Prize 2021. And I have literally seen people reviewing about this book on their Instagram feed. So this is something I'm very excited to read. Again, a very hardcover at a very steal deal. I am very excited to read this book. So the next book is by a author that I love. I love their writing. I love their work. I love everything about their romance book. And they are none other than Christina Lauren, The True Love Experiment. And I'm very excited to read this one. And yeah. So the next book is something that came up on my Pinterest feed. Not Instagram, not booktube, Pinterest. So I was literally drawn to the cover and then I googled the synopsis of this particular book and I literally thought that this is something I would love to read. This is something right up my alley and this is the kind of books I usually adore and love. Although she is a very new author for me and she is a Wattpad writer who actually published her book with HarperCollins. So I am very excited to read and dive into this book, and it is The Upside of Falling by Alex Light. Okay, so now the rest of the books that I am going to show you are gifted to me by my friends or family members. So, yeah. So, rest of the books that I'm going to show you now is gifted to me by my friends or family members. I was very particular that you guys have to gift me from my wish list or don't gift me books at all, because I don't want my books to be repeated. I don't want two copies of same book. I feel like that is literally the waste of money. Don't get me wrong, if you love collecting different say different cover of the same book, that is up to you. That is not something I like yet. I might do it in the future, but this is not something I like it now. And yeah, that's why I was very particular. If you have to gift me a book, you have to gift me from my wish list or don't gift me at all. So they all have gifted me books from my wish list, and I'm literally very happy. Before We Forget Kindness by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This is the last book which is released in Before the Coffee Gets Cold series, and I am excited to dive into this book. I have already read like three books from that series. I have to read like I have to read like this one and Before the Memory Fades Away one. I have to read So I have to read this book and Before the Memory Fades Away one. I am excited to finish my series. Okay, so the next book is like again a part of a series. I have already read the first book. The first book was I Want to Die, but I Want to Eat That Bookie. That book was gifted to me by Bloomsbury Publishers and it was a proof copy. And I wanted to read the second book in the series so bad. So one of my friend gifted me this book, I Want to Die, but I still want to eat that bookie, which is like the second book in the series, and I'm excited to dive into this one ASAP because I really loved the first book. Okay, so the next book is Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Gasgo. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, but again, this book was on my Pinterest feed, and then the cover, the title instantly intrigued me. I went to Goodreads to read the synopsis of this book, and I was like, I am adding this book on my wish list. I am not going to lie, I added this book in my wish list in 2021. And at that time, if you were very active on Bookstagram or if you were an avid reader, you would have known that purchasing books like this one or any of the American author one was very difficult. It was so pricey on Amazon. I still remember I really wanted to read this book because of the title and the synopsis, and it costed me around 2000 rupees. Like literally 2000 rupees in 2021. So I feel like Bookstagram and Booktube community have kind of pushed people into reading, and that's why I feel the books are available in the bookstores as well, and books are not that high end price. Earlier books used to cost a lot. Only non-fiction books and few of the fiction genre was available even in the bookstores. So I am very glad and I am very grateful to this BookTube and Bookstagram community. They have sort of pushed the whole thing and made books actually available in India. So this is Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Gaspro. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, but I'm very excited to read this one now. What a Way to Go by Bella Mickey. I am definitely gonna read her books in this year. I want to read the first book as well, which is I Want to Kill My Family. But again, I will definitely read both of the books very soon and share my opinion with you guys. So I added this particular author because of a bookstagrammer. I recently followed her and she is a huge fan of this particular author, and I saw her raving about this book, raving about this author like all the time, and her craze and her obsession made me buy it. I'm not gonna name that particular bookstagrammer because I haven't read the series yet, and if I did not like it, I don't want to do the whole drama and gossip thing. But if I liked her, I'm definitely going to tell you guys and tell her, in fact, that I am also this particular author fan now. So this is the series that I bought. So this is The Risk by L.A. Kennedy, The Play by L.A. Kennedy, The Chase by L.A. Kennedy. I am not gonna lie, I really don't like people on my cover. Not a fan, but this edition was only available at that bookstore, and not gonna lie, I think finding this author is not very easy. I think she is still not available at many places. You can find hyped authors like Ali Hazelwood and Sally Throne, even Taylor Jenkins Reid as well. But finding L.A. Kennedy is a little bit difficult. So when I went to Delhi, I was able to spot the series and I bought it. So the next book is I Hope This Doesn't Find You Well. I have no idea about the author. I haven't read her previous work, but I saw this book on my Bookstagram feed and I was like, I have to get it because the cover is very cute. The synopsis is right up my alley, and I love books. So, yeah. So, the next book is again a gift, The Diary of a CEO, The 33 Laws of Business and Life by Stephen Bartlett. And I have seen this book in a lot of bookstores, and I'm not gonna lie, I am very excited to read this one. This book was also recommended to me by a friend because she was reading this book and she sort of liked it. So I'm definitely reading this book hopefully very soon. Although I'm not really much into non-fiction now, but I think I might give this one a go. Okay, so the next book was all over my Instagram feed. Everybody was reading it, everybody was raving about it, and I want to read this book too. I want to explore the work of this particular author too, and I bought it. And it is The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. I wanted to read this book for so long, and now I have time on my hand, and I am going to read this book very soon. Let me quickly show you the book. I wanted to read this book for so long. I have been watching posts and reels about this one, and I saw people raving about this book, and I wanted to read it. Although this book is non-fiction, so not my genre to be very honest, but I wanted to read this book, and it is The Age of Magical Overthinking Notes on Modern Irrationality by Amanda Montell. I am just so happy to have this book on my hands, and I'm just very, very excited. I am definitely going to read this book very soon. So, the bookstore owner was very kind and he gave me a calendar. I mean, he was giving it to everybody, but he gave me a bookmark for that book, Blue Sisters, and he gave me a calendar for this book. This is so aesthetic, so pretty, so beautiful. I will always remember that I went to that bookstore in this particular year. Love it. And with that, we come to an end to my 25 books for turning 25 series. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And if you did, then make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And see you in the next video. Bye. Bless you. You guys thought that this is going to be the aesthetic vlog. No, I am a messy person. You have subscribed to a very messy, clumsy, chaotic person. So, no, this is not going to be a very aesthetic vlog rather than a messy one. I prefer it that way. So,